I'm glad you say that because I am now going through a very challenging friendship. And I'm going to ask for your advice right now
Okay.
because the older I've gotten, as I told you when I was on your show,
Mhm.
that I've learned to take accountability for my actions
You do.
when I do things that hurt people or when I do things that I don't get the results that I thought. Is it okay that some friendships just aren't going to work out?
It's the hardest thing in the world, isn't it? Because I've had to do that
Yes.
too, especially if you're a person who loves people. But the answer is absolutely yes. And if something doesn't bring you, sometimes relationships run their course, and someone's supposed to be in our life, I think, for a season.
Yes,
And
they have a
sometimes,
saying. They have a saying.
sometimes
There was there it was something for that season, or that's all. What there's a saying. It's got to come to me. Oh, there's a reason for that season.
that's right. So,
Yes.
I believe that. And I've had to have people, I don't like officially announce to them all the time. If it's a dating relationship, you have to do that. But I certainly have had people,
I
I've had,
love that. You said if you're dating somebody and ain't working out, let them know.
you kind of got to let them know, right? We can't just
Yeah.
disappear. But I actually believe that. And I actually believe the quality of your life is the quality of your friendships and your relationships. And
Mm-hmm.
so if you're looking at your life, you're like, maybe some of these relationships need some updating or upgrading or some
Ooh,
rotating. And
say
so
that.
it's just a
Say
fact. Like
that.
you're around this, you are a product of the 4 or 5 people you spend the most time with, right? So like if you evaluate that, like the people you spend that are the most proximity to, do they bring you joy? Do they bring you
Yes.
growth? Do they bring you laughter? Do they bring you peace? Do they bring
Yes.
you confidence? Do they bring you support? Do they bring, by the way, here's a big one. Do they bring you the truth? Like, do
Mm.
they actually tell you the truth regularly? No, like about day-to-day life stuff and the truth about you, right? So
Okay.
I'm trying to always, I mean, to be honest with you, I'm kind of psycho about this. Like who I'm spending my time with affects me as a human.
Me
There's a
too.
vibrational frequency. There's a toxicity. The person may or may not be toxic, but the two of you together may be toxic, right? And
Mm.
so, or that nature of your friendship. And so absolutely one, and the other thing for me, as I get older, my circle gets smaller. I
Yeah.
don't need 150 people around me all the time. I want
Mm-hmm.
people who love me, who believe in me, who bring me joy. You get a little bit older, you start realizing I have a certain amount of days left. Like I was just
Okay.
talking about this with a friend this week, and I'm 50. And I was saying, I was on this lake. I said, I wonder if I've got 30 more summers on this lake.
Ooh.
When my dad was in his early 70s, a friend of mine, a brilliant guy, said to me, he goes, "How old's your dad?" I said, "My dad's 70." He goes, "Well, how old do you think your dad's going to live?" And I said, 78. He didn't live that long. He goes, I go, "So I got 8 years with him." He goes, "No, you don't. How many times a year do you have dinner with your dad?" And I said, "Really? Like 5?" He goes, "You have 40 more visits with your dad in your life." Right.
Mm.
And when you begin to shrink down what's actually going to happen, that more scarce it becomes, the more valuable it does. We only have so many days, so many Friday nights, so many
Yes.
summers, so many Septembers left. I don't care if you're 20. By the way, Vivica and I both tell you, 20 to here went bam, like that, like bam.
Okay. Oh my
So,
goodness.
so why would you spend that time with people, and by the way, why do us sometimes? We think we need them. Right.
Mm.
We think we need them. We say, well, I don't want to hurt their feelings. Nah, maybe you're afraid it's going to hurt your feelings. Because the truth is, there's billions of people in the world. You can find 5 or 7 or 8 who are going to bring you joy and peace and laughter and growth and believe in you and support you. You got to make those hard decisions in your life, or you're going to keep repeating the same life on a loop in a pattern over and over again.
Exactly. And as you said, that's with relationships and friendships. And that's what I'm like going through that. I call it seasons of shedding, where I was like, you know what? It's okay. Like you do you, and I'm going to do me because
Yes.
what we're this friendship thing isn't. I deserve reciprocal relationships, and I've worked really hard at that. And that just don't be afraid that if someone isn't treating you good at a relationship or a friendship, do not be afraid to say, "Hey, you know what? I wish you well, but the hell away from me." So,
And you know what I found too? By the way, you said the key word, which is deserve. You have to believe you deserve better. But the other part of it is it's painful at first, but there'll be a time 3 months, 4 months down the road, you're like, wow, I just feel lighter. This is
yeah, yeah,
easier. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
this is easier. It was hard to shed it, but that's nature. Trees shed their leaves, right?
they
Like the
do.
ocean turns over, the
Yeah.
snow melts. Like this happens in life. It's okay.